There was this kid in my high school who was one of those ambiguously retarded kids. He had vaguely elfish features and eyes that pointed in radically different directions, but that wasn't what made us unsure. See, he'd come up and talk to you as though you'd been having a conversation for quite a while. He'd just start talking, not just mid-sentence, but sometimes mid-word. He would come into our physics class and talk to our teacher for like 20 minutes about like flight simulators or monster trucks or whatever, and then he would just abruptly leave. He has never had my physics teacher for any class, and the teacher didn't even know his name. Now, my friends and I had this theory. The theory was that he had no mental health issues at all and was simply a comic genius way ahead of his time, like Andy Kaufman. So that's what we called him. And so we started watching Andy Kaufman and were continually amazed at his power to make the world around him make less sense. He once dove to catch a taco that someone had thrown at a football game. We didn't see anyone throw it, we just saw him go, "I've got it!" and dive to the ground. Then he came up with a taco in his hand. I tell you all that to tell you this story. I was driving my friend home from school one day. He was in the passenger seat and my other friend was in the back. It's a pretty routine drive. We're just talking about music and making dick jokes or whatever. But then out of the corner of my eye, I see someone riding a bicycle in what may be the weirdest way I've seen anyone do anything mundane. The best way I can describe it is like those bobbing birds that have liquid in them. While he was pedaling, he bobbed not just his head, but his entire torso up and down like someone at a black metal concert slowed down 50%. The best part, though, was that trailing behind the bike, he had one of those rolling baby tents that dads use when they want to go biking but also have to watch the baby. It was Andy motherfucking Kaufman. This was huge for us because we had never seen him outside of school and weren't entirely convinced he existed in the real world. But here he was, still being just weird enough to make us question reality without being totally over the top and outrageous. And then he stopped. We were intrigued, so we pulled into the parking lot in front of the bank in front of which he had stopped. And then we watched as he performed what we can now only see as wizardry. We watched and commented as this event unfolded. He got off the bike.
What's he doing?
He walked into the middle of the bank's lawn.
Seriously, what is happening here?
He bent down.
Is he, like, adjusting his shoe or something?
And then, out of a patch of grass not tall enough to conceal it, he pulled a goddamn shop vac. From nowhere. There was no place it could have been hidden. He then put it into the baby tent trailer and rode away as if nothing had happened. Did you guys just see that? Did that just happen in real life? There was no shop vac before he bent down to pick it up. As far as we know, he was riding along, saw the patch of grass in front of the bank, thought,
"This will be a perfect place to summon a cleaning appliance,"
did so just because he could, and then rode on. My friends and I checked the spot. There is no way it could have concealed anything larger than a small clock radio, which I had in my car for some reason.
He was the wizard.